حمل على الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد سيد المرسلين وخاتم النبيين وحجة رب العالمين، المنتجب في الميثاق المصطفى في الضلال، المطهر من كل آفة، البريء من كل عيب، المؤمل للنجاة، المرتجى للشفاعة، المفوض إليه دين الله. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك، عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أخته العقيلة زينب وأخيه أبا الفضل العباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. قال الله العظيم في محكم كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. من المؤمنين رجال صدقوا ما عاهدوا الله عليه، فمنهم من قضى نحبه ومنهم من ينتظر وما بدلوا تبديلا. آمنا بالله. صدق الله العلي العظيم. For the hastened appearance of Imam صاحب العصر والزمان، أرواحنا وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء. allow الصلوات. For your well-being and the well-being of your family and the zawar of Abdullah al-Hussein, another louder salawat. The companions of Abdullah al-Hussein, Sayyid al-Shuhada, have many moral characteristics and virtues that must be studied. One of them being the loyalty they had toward the leader of their time, that they sacrificed everything in the position, everything dear to them for the leader. And that is the loyalty that we spoke about last night. There's a number of them. The other parts of their virtues is that they embrace death. They embrace death. That itself needs time to be studied. As to what? You find that the companions of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, Sayyid al-Shuhada, they embrace the end of life as we know it. There are different types of prescriptions that come to, perceptions that come to death. Some believe that death is the end. Some believe that death is actually the beginning. But when you come to the saga of Imam al-Hussein, you find these people gave death another meaning. They embrace it. We fear death. We escape death. We try to ignore death as much as possible. We find death to be horrifying. It's not something that we joke about. When someone from the community passes away, we mourn the death of that person. We commemorate the death of that individual to the point that we have the first Fatiha, that is when that person passes away, and then we have the 7th, and then we have the 40th, and then later on we have the yearly anniversary. we commemorate, we come to these kind of gatherings and we remember death, but yet we try to ignore it. Yet we are in denial. As death is not going to come to me, it did come for others, but I am immune. I am actually immortal, as some believe. That death will never come close to me. To a point we have in the books of Hadith a story narrated about a prophet in Bani Israel where he made a deal with the angel of death that whenever death is near me, tell me when it's about to strike me. They made that deal and the angel of death, Israel, agreed to that. Years passed. One day angel of death, Israel, was at the doorstep of that prophet. What is it you want? Is it business or is it pleasure? Actually, I'm here to take your life, take your soul away. Well, didn't we make a deal that you will tell me, you will give me notes here and there, you will tell me when my time is up? Didn't we come to that conclusion that we had an agreement that you will let me know when my time is up? He said, I did. I gave you many warnings, but you ignored them. He said, when? When did you give me warnings? To which the angel Israel, Malik al-Maut, said to him, didn't your father pass away? Didn't your mother pass away? Your neighbor passed away? Your friends passed away? You think death comes to them and doesn't come to you? Everyone dies. Everyone dies. In the Quran al-Kareem it says, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Every soul will taste that death. But how do we live our life? A life that is a life of Hussein. That when we are about to leave this world, we utter the words of Amir al-Mu'mineen. There are many types of people in the world. There are many individuals. There are types of the people in the world. We have them. When death came near them, they were afraid. Why that fear? Where does it come from? Why are we afraid? They asked Abu Dar al-Ghifari, they said to Abu Dar, Ya Abu Dar, why is it that we hate death? We hate death. نبغض الموت. He said to them, it's because you are living a life that you have built to a life that you have destructed. From construction into destruction. How does a person feel? We invest many of our time, many of our money, our effort in this life, but not even 1 hour of that investment, of that time, of that wealth, of that strength goes for the next life. That is why you are afraid of death. You are living a life of what? Of Umran to life of Kharab. Life of construction, of buildings, we spend a lot of that time to make ourselves more comfortable in this life. And you see many people that are consumed by life itself. They spend hours just to make this life better. Actually, in Islam, it's not a bad thing for a person to have a better life. Islam encourages you to study. Islam encourages you to have the best of the jobs, live the best of our life, live a life of luxury. Islam actually encourages you to do such a thing, but not to be consumed by it. Not to forget the other life. That's why you find one of the virtues of these companions is that they embraced death. They embraced it. They did not fear it. They embraced it. Because what they have is that they have certainty that this life is merely a temporary life. And that's what this life is. Ad-dunya mazra'atul akhirah. Dunya, this life that we live in today, is like a farm. You have a farmer. They have seasons. They know better. The climate they have the seed they use, the soil they use, they know when to plant the seed. And they know when to give water to that for it to blossom, for it to come up, and then they know when is the best time to harvest. True or wrong? Yes. Dunya is this for a man. Ad-dunya mazra'atul akhir. How much can you do in this life for the next? When you live a life of construction, life that you built and you have invested in all your efforts, but you forget the next life, this is when you have fear. You are afraid. Amir al-Mu'mineen at his deathbed, he said, "Fustu wa Rabbil Kaaba," because he knows where he's going. He knows. Others, tyrants, kings, at the time when it was about for them to leave this world, to departure to the next life, they were afraid, they were shocked, they were scared, they were shivering, and many of them, you hear them saying, "I wish I was a sheep. They killed me, then they gave that meat of mine to people to eat, and no one remembers me because of life I lived." Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi lived a life of violence, killed thousands upon thousands. He used to tell his soldiers to bring him a man, and that man used to be from a family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from the progeny of Rasulullah, and he doesn't eat until he sees a blood of an innocent spilled right in front of his eyes. When it was about the time for his departure for the next world, as it is for every single human being on the face of the earth, he was shaking. He said that I killed hundreds and hundreds of Sayyids, I killed them. And his advisor said to him, "Well, every one of them was a criminal." To which Hajjaj said to him, "You say that to me? You say that to me? What about him? What about the Lord, that he is the witness? He is the executioner. He is the judge." You tell that to him, and let's see what happens. Hajjaj, a person who lived a life of violence, here he starts to shake. Because he knows this is the end of this life, and he's about to go to the next life that is not going to be in his best interest. Not going to be in his best interest. So the Sahaba, the companions of Imam al-Hussein, they embraced it. One of them being Muslim ibn Aqil. Muslim ibn Aqil, who is the cousin of Sayyid al-Shuhada, came into Kufa, and he was welcomed by 18,000 Kufans. 18,000. And they pledged their allegiance. They pledged their allegiance to Muslim ibn Aqil, and they started fighting one another that I want him to be my guest, and the other one said I want him to be my guest. Muslim ibn Aqil is one of the companions of Sayyid al-Shuhada. He wasn't killed in Karbala, he was killed before Karbala. He was killed in Kufa. Now, when the life started to change, the governorship started to change from one governor to the other. From Nu'man ibn Bashir al-Ansari comes and takes the power in his hands. At that time, you find Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad is the new governor. And it started to change here and there. Those people, the ones that invited Muslim to come to Kufa, invited Sayyid al-Shuhada to come to Kufa, pledged their allegiance to Muslim ibn Aqil. 18,000 of them, we find them all scared for their life. Life itself doesn't have a meaning if you don't have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, life doesn't have a meaning. We are different from animals. Animals, they wake up, they eat, They eat, they walk around, they sleep, they take a nap here and there, and then they woke up again, and they eat again, and then they sleep, and the day goes one to the second, to the third, to the fourth. There is no purpose. There's no purpose. But for a human being to have no purpose, it's like he has no life. There must be a purpose. You pledge your allegiance to Muslim. You are the ones who invited Abu Abdullah al-Hussein to come to Karbala, to come to Kufa. And yet you are the ones who betray him, who changed your minds. Why? It's because of that fear. That fear plays a big role. One person runs toward death because he finds that that death is the means for him to go to the next life, to the hereafter, that is much better than this life. After all this hardship, another one flees, runs away, escapes it, and is in search of immortality just to live another day. Why? Because he doesn't have anything built for the next life. إني باعث إليكم أخي وابن عمي وثقتي مسلم بن عقيل فاسمعوا له وأطيعوه. Who said that? Imam al-Hussein. I'm sending one of my cousins and my brother who I trust to you, and I want you to deal with him like you are dealing with me. He's my ambassador coming to you. And you'll find these people, they change their ways, their path. The friends now that are enemies of Muslim. A Muslim walks in the alleys of Kufa all alone, a stranger who has no one to help him. The doors are shut. No one allows him to have any shelter in their houses. You find this to take its course to that point. So when it comes to that, you find there are many in the saga of Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi who lost the way, who failed miserably from the 40,000 soldiers that came in Karbala, and they fought Imam al-Hussein, Sayyid al-Shuhada. This 40,000, they came to have bounties, spoils of war. Some of them were given permission and they were given titles, and then some of them were given here and there. They were given words that if you go kill Hussein, we're giving you the governorship of Ray, we'll give you the governorship of here and there, for life, for this life, worldly life. But you find from that 40,000, none of them achieved anything. There are different types of people in life. If you look at now, there are different types of individuals. One is that person who loses this life, يخسر الدنيا ويخسر الآخرة, who is miserable in both lives. He loses the one in this life. He doesn't gain anything from this life, and because he always in search of comfort, he's always in search to be more comfortable, he is a person who destructs the other life as well. So يخسر الدنيا والآخرة. There are other types of people. These people, they don't have a life in this life. They don't have any comfort in this life. But what do? They have a better life in the next. In the hereafter. So they work hard for the hereafter. They work hard to such a way that I don't have anything here. I don't possess anything. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I can't have anything here because I know this is my life. And life is filled with calamities, with tests. For a person who thinks that this life is going to be a perfect life, that everything will be to his standards, everything will be top-notch, is a person who has denial, one, who's in delusion, and thinks that I will achieve that comfort. I will achieve that comfort. So these other people, they come to the reality. They are rational people. They say, you know what? I'm not going to have anything good in this life. So let me build the next life. And they do. And the third type of people who are what? They have both, this one and the next. But in between, they have to make sacrifices. There must be sacrifices. Wealth, life, there must be sacrificed for the next life to be a better life. If you want to achieve greatness, if you want to achieve perfection, you have to be one of them who sacrifices for the next life, for something that you hold dear to your heart. And that's what the companions of Abdullah Al-Hussein did. One was loyalty. Two, they embraced death. Even Ali Al-Akbar, who is the son of Imam Al-Hussein, when they were about to reach Karbala, he saw his father, Abu Abdullah. And he looked at him. Imam Al-Hussein was very worried. He said to his father, why are you in such a concerned person now? We're reaching this land. You are frightened and you are worried. He said to him, we are going to death. This is the land pointing to Karbala, is where you and me and our family will be killed and the woman will be taken captive. To which he said to his father, are we on the right path? Are we on the right path? Imam Hussein said, of course we are on the right path. Ali Al-Akbar said to him here, so it doesn't matter if we go to death or death comes to us. If we go to death or death comes to us. The person who hasn't prepared anything for the next life, he's afraid. He's in such a worried person when he's about to departure. But when a person who spent every moment building the next life, he doesn't care. Well, it's actually better for me to die earlier. So this is why Ali Akbar says to his father, it doesn't matter for us, ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. It's not a concern that if we go to it or it comes to us, because we are on the right path. روضة من رياض الجنة أو حفرة من حفر النيران. It is what you prepare for the next life matters here. They were there, they were surrounded by 40,000, and they knew this is their end. There's no way out of this. There's a narration that tells us here that Sayyid al-Shuhada, Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, he tested them in different situations, and when they all succeeded, he showed them what they're going to achieve in the next life. But this is before. This is before the hardship. The test is before you see what's going to happen next life. He tested them and then tested them, and you see some of them, they trying to find a way to escape. They escape. And from 1,000, the number comes down to how many? 72. When everything is done and it's about time of war, Abu Abdullah shows them what's going to happen in the next life. But they have certainty. Because of that certainty, they don't fear it. They're not scared of it. And they have loyalty on top of that. They are loyal, they are certain, and they embrace it. Embracing death is because they are prepared. You are prepared for the next one. That is why you embrace it. If you don't, and you have spent your life going around in circle, if you look, there is an example of a donkey. In the olden days, even today they have it in some villages. They use a donkey that goes around and around and around and around, that grinds the wheat grinds the wheat. This donkey starts from sunrise until sunset. That goes around in a circle, goes around in a circle. And by sunset, the donkey looks around, he's still in the same spot. How many hours has been walking around the circle? For hours. Did I go any step forward? No. Actually, maybe a step backward. Did I go anywhere? No. Did I achieve anything? No. Some people, and this is an example, they live a life of a donkey in that matter. They don't achieve anything. Their day is exactly as it is the second day. The second day is like the third day. The third day is as it is the fourth day. That is why Imam al-Sadiq ﷺ says, he's not one of us, a Shia, who doesn't take to account of what he has done. يحاسب نفسه. Every night, he comes and he does what? He comes and he audits himself. If you have a business here, you know that when it's time of tax, if you have a business, and there is tax time, you have to go to an accountant, and the accountant audits you. You come with your bank statements and you come with your receipts. Every cent, where did you save it? Where did you spend it? Where did it go? What does he do with you? So how much money you have to pay and how much money you can gain back. That's every year, every financial year. When a person sits down every night, Imam al-Sadiq says that, every night, وَيُحَاسِبُ نَفْسَهُ. He comes to that saying, what did I do that night? Did I achieve anything during this day? Here I backbited. Well, tomorrow I shouldn't be doing that anymore. Here my salah was delayed. I shouldn't be doing that anymore. Here I recited Ziyarat al-Ashura. Let me increase that. He increases the good deeds and he takes away the sins. That is every night, not once a year like we do for the financial year. This is every night. So you can change. To achieve that glory, perfection, when it says, إِنَّ الْحُسَيْن مِصْبَاحُ الْهُدَى وَسَفِينَةُ النَّجَاةِ, you find out he is the light of guidance. He is the ark of salvation. So what should I do now? What is my role? That's him. That's Imam al-Hussein. We know now. We understand. The saga of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein is not an epic story. We sit down once a year, we speak about it, and then when it comes to the end of the month of Safar, we close up the books and we say, you know what, we see you next year. A person who is a real believer, who has faith for Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, every day he changes to a better person. Because those virtues, they possess the comparison of Imam al-Hussein: loyalty, certainty, sincerity, and embracing death, and so on and so forth. Inshallah tomorrow night we speak about the other virtues. When you want to possess such a thing, you have to go through hardship, test after test, for you to achieve such a greatness. For you to become, what's the conclusion of this? Now, I know about their history. I hear about Burayr, I heard about Ali al-Akbar, Qasim ibn al-Hassan. If you look at the saga of Karbala, for every age there is a role model. For every age. For the elders, Imam al-Hussein Sayyid al-Shuhada. For the youngs, for the youth, you have Qasim ibn al-Hassan, Ali al-Akbar, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. For the ladies, Lady Zainab Salamullah alayha. Now I come to this, I understand this, that these people possess this kind of virtues. So what should I be doing? Just to hear that from one ear and the other it comes out? No. Implement, change, imitate, learn and do. not to listen from one ear and forget from the next. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله الحسين وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم جميعا معا. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أخته العقيلة زينب وأخيه أبا الفضل العباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. الفاتحة قبل الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.